Hattiesburg! I'm your host, Emily Blue, here to bring you the latest news stories as well as weather updates and all things Southern Miss sports. And we do have a special guest today. Joining me will be Dr. Edgar Simpson, so be sure to stick around and hear what he has to say. The segment today is very jam-packed, so let's jump right in. First, a message from our sponsor.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everyone, and happy Thursday. In USM campus news, the University of Southern Mississippi School of Performing and Visual Arts will present another impressive lineup for its 6th annual Revelry, which is a multi-art celebration that boasts more than 40 events from February 16th through March 2nd on the Hattiesburg campus. The Revelry will bring the university its finest talents to the community by showcasing the best in art and design, dance, and theater. Performance and exhibitions, guest artists, lectures, panel discussions, master classes, and workshops across the SPVA will be featured. Meg Brooker, the professor of dance and the director of the School of Performing and Visual Arts, says that this year's festival should rise above all the previous engagements. On February 19th, from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., in conjunction with the Faces of Freedom Summer 1964 exhibit, Dr. Canvas Slayer's Honors Colloquium class will engage in a play reading of Frank Kuhn's Voices of Freedom Summer, which was written from historical documents inspired by the photos. Additionally, from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., the PBS American Experience Freedom Summer documentary will be screened. The screening is free and open to the public, but the capacity is limited to 100 seats. In both the reading and documentary, real testimonials and accounts of violence as well as hate speech that occurred during the Freedom Summer of 1964 are included. The content may not be suitable for some audience members. Discretion is advised. For more information over these events and others, check out the School of the Performing and Visual Arts website. The Southern Wing Company, located on the Hattiesburg campus across from the Cook Library, is hosting game night tonight from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Meanwhile, in Hattiesburg news, the Hattiesburg News is taking the beads from Mardi Gras and recycling them. If you have a bunch of beads left over and you're ready to part with them, you can take them to the sustainability station at the zoo's gift shop. If you're not ready to part with them, the sustainability station is open year-round if you're not ready. The station is open currently Friday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The hours will expand from Tuesday to Sunday in March. In Mississippi news, the first Black woman in the Mississippi legislature now has her portrait in the state capitol. Former Representative Elise Clark was not only just the first Black person, but also the first woman to have a portrait on display in the Mississippi state capitol. The ceremony to unveil the painting was held on Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. And lastly, in other news, William, otherwise known as Bill Post, the inventor of the Pop-Tart, passed away at 96. The Pop-Tart debuted in 1964 with only 4 flavors, and the pastry is still stopped selling 60 years later, having about 3 billion sold in 2022 alone. The 4 original flavors are still selling today. That's it for the news segment today on Southern Miss Today. Next, we will have the latest in Golden Eagles sports and the weather, so we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277, and the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back, everyone. Diving into the Eagle Sports segment. The Southern Miss cheer team competed last month in the 2024 UCA College Nationals held at Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. This was the first UCA appearance in 16 years, with the last one being in 2008, for the Southern Miss cheer team. The Golden Eagle golf teams, Robbie Ladder and Bennett Ruby finished strong over the final day of the Hall Williams Collegiate on Tuesday, February 13th, which helped Southern Miss tie for 7th in a 14-team event held in Mobile, Alabama. The next event will be held February 25th through the 27th at the Dorado Beach Collegiate in Dorado, Puerto Rico. The USM track team sprinter Kingsley Onorigi and the jumper DeAndre Ward collected the Sun Belt Indoor Track and Field's Men's Weekly Honor on Wednesday, February 14th by the league's office. As for the weather today, a high of 69 and a low of 40 with mostly cloudy skies and little to no wind. The humidity is at 54%, which is insanely low for Mississippi, but I am not complaining one bit. Up next, we have the Mississippi Moments brought to you by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments on MPB, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. Serving overseas is hard on the ones who serve and the ones who wait for their return. Emma Foray recalls how she and the children coped with her husband's absence.
It's difficult for kids, especially when the dad leaves and he tells the young boy, take care of your mother. Well, he's a kid, and they tell him to take care of their mother and sister. Well, they can only do so much. They're kids, and it puts a lot of responsibility on them. But we managed. We went on a lot of picnics. There was a beach at the river at the housing area where we lived, and they'd get back from school and I'd fix food, and we'd just go have a picnic lunch at the lake. Jim was in the Boy Scouts, and of course, with the father's gone, all of the scout leaders were women, pretty much, because the dads were always being deployed. In fact, our troop leader was a woman. But there was a lot of support from the other wives. We made some very, very good friends whose husbands were Marines, and they were deployed too. They were going overseas. But you do what you have to do.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
Hearing from Dr. Ed Simpson about the School of Media and Communications and any upcoming events. So stick with us.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Calling all families.
Calling all children. And kids of all ages.
Are you looking for a variety of music the whole family can listen to?
Yeah!
Then look no further. We have traditional songs, international tunes, and fresh new beats.
Join us every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m.
Right here on Southern Miss Radio
for the Hickory Dickory Dock Show. Catch you Saturday. Catch you then.
Now let's please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Dr. Ed Simpson. Hey, Dr. Simpson. So nice having you here to join us today.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Alrighty, so I do have a couple of questions for you. So just in basics, what's your role in the communications department here?
I am the director of the School of Media and Communication. So that means that basically I manage the school and serve as a liaison to the college and whatever anybody needs.
So you're the big boss of the communications department?
The big boss, yeah. Right.
So how long have you been here at Southern Miss?
This summer will be my 4th year. I came down here in July of 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, where I was teaching at Central Michigan University. So yeah, it's been an interesting 4 years here.
You like us better?
I love you guys.
I'm so honored. What made you want to get into the communications and media field?
Well, this is actually higher education is actually my second career. I spent about 16 years or so in the journalism and mass media field. Started off as a wire service reporter and a bureau chief, and then city editor, managing editor, and editor of daily newspapers. And I got my doctorate in 2012 rather. I've always been interested. I can't really remember a time when I wasn't interested in doing something journalism-y, communication-y. I think I was editor of my high school newspaper, editor of my college newspaper. Just been my life for many, many years.
That's so fun. So what are you wanting to add or do in the communications building?
Well, we've got all kinds of great things going on, I think. We're going to have, I hope, in fact, I know, we'll have a very big announcement for the school in about 6 weeks. We have some things we have to finish up to make sure it's all buttoned down, but that'll be very exciting news for the school. The last year or two, we've been working really hard on standing up the Student Media Center, broadening opportunities for all of our students to take part in the fields that they see themselves going into. That's been really busy, really exciting, lots of fun. Dr. Beverly is our new Director of Student Media. He's come on board and running hard, getting everybody organized and expanding opportunities for our students. So that's exciting. Working really hard on our strategic communication major. In the fall, we had our second Strategic Communication Week, which is a series of activities for our students, highlighting what they do, highlighting what the field is. That's exciting. We're actually already in the planning stages for the third Strategic Communication Week, which will be in the fall. So that's all very exciting. Lots of things going on in the school. Always something to do.
Definitely. I get emails every week. It's like, hey, go to this, go to this. And I'm like, I have to go to all of them, but I can't always go to all of them.
I understand.
So people who are not majoring in the communications degree, are they available to just come and join in?
Absolutely. We would love as many folks across campus to take part in what we do as possible. So they can always attend any of our events, which I'll talk about a couple here upcoming. But the Student Media Center does not serve just our school. It serves the entire campus. So we would love to see students who have an interest in honing their communication skills, whether it's in journalism or whether it's in getting comfortable in front of a camera, being comfortable on the radio, whatever. Come on over, make us a pitch, apply for one of the jobs that you see that come open. We'd love to have you.
There's always jobs available. That's how I came here. And honestly, I'm loving every second of it. So
Great.
Really glad I chose to do it. So what are some of the events? I know that you said that there were a bunch of events coming up, and I know you talked a little bit about StratCom Week, but is there any events going on in the spring?
There are. So next Thursday, very exciting, February 22nd at 6 p.m. in Stout Hall, we will have the News You Need live panel event. So this is something we started last year. This is where we take our News You Need show, we put it in front of a live audience, and then we do a special expanded topic. So next Thursday, 6 p.m., Stout Hall, News You Need live, and the topic is Presidential Election News, a Survivor's Guide, which I think is really clever. I'm very excited about that. So the idea is to help folks navigate all the news that's going to be hitting them during this election season and make sense of it. And so try not to go crazy, but actually learn something. So we'll be talking about that. It's a panel of professors and students, and very excited about that. On February 29th, we have the Mississippi Association of Broadcasters Day. That's where we bring in about 19 or so news directors from all across the state Last year we even had folks from Louisiana and Alabama in, and that's where they talk to our students about resumes, portfolios, demo reels, all kinds of stuff, internships, and then first jobs. So it's a very, very good day, very busy, but lots of fun. We do encourage folks, you don't have to be in broadcasting to benefit. We've had students in StratCom, students in comm studies, all kinds of folks get jobs in local television, local radio, selling advertising, making advertising, doing social media, digital production. Broadcasting incorporates all of those fields. So I encourage everybody, look for the flyers, talk to your professors about taking part in MAB Day. Then we have the EARS program coming up, very exciting. This is the second year for the Emerging Artists and Recording Students program. So this is where Professor Will Thompson brings in artists from New Orleans, and the students work on producing a session with these artists. It's very exciting. March 6th, I'm going to get this wrong, but we'll fix it later if I get it wrong. I believe it's March 16th and April 4th, and you can look for the announcements coming up on that. So those are the highlights this spring, but there's always something going on. And if our students or anybody actually around campus has not jumped into any one of our student groups, go ahead and do that. They're always doing something. It's always exciting.
And you can find this information, like the flyers and such, you can find that on the Instagrams, right?
That's a good question. No. You can find it on Facebook. I don't think we've been doing much on Instagram. That is something we've got to do. We do have an account, but check out our Facebook. I encourage everybody to go to Facebook first, and then Instagram is a little bit behind the times for us.
Yes, so Facebook in the College Hall for the flyers,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
Alrighty, so you mentioned that about internships just a little bit. I know there's jobs that are available at the communications department. Can you talk a little bit about the jobs and internships that are available?
Yeah, absolutely. What we're seeing is a dramatic increase in the demand for our students, both on internships and in jobs coming out of college. The broadcast industry in particular is super hungry for young talent, and we've seen that growth somewhat dramatic in the last 5 years, and we don't see that slowing down. We're also seeing a significant growth in social media. So we get calls probably at least once a week or so saying, hey, do you have interns that want to do social media? And we do. But that social media is still kind of new for a lot of folks. So we're working with them to make sure that our students have a good experience on that. So pretty much anything anybody wants to do, there is an internship available to them. We work with several dozen different agencies, companies, outlets throughout Mississippi to place interns and to get them going. I would encourage everyone to contact Professor Carlton Wade, who is our internship coordinator, and he can give them the rundown. And also, again, look for the announcements for the internship meetings.
Yes, I believe that being through like college, the communications building, I joined a internship email list.
Yes.
And I think Tuesday, they send me, it's just a list of all the events that there is going on, all the internships available in the degree that I want to go for, as well as just like a few others that aren't in necessarily the communications track, but other internships that are just available around. So definitely.
Yeah, check that out. I believe that's through the Career Center, and I think
it might be.
I highly encourage everybody to sign up for that.
Yes.
The school itself will send out specific announcements sometimes, especially on new internships that come through. And then we hold 2 meetings a semester with our students about internships. So absolutely, number one thing students can do is check your USM email.
Yes, check your email.
Check
the Outlook
your
account.
USM
you
email.
Have one. I check mine probably daily.
Well, good.
I have my notifications on. Like I check my email as soon as I wake up in the morning.
Excellent.
So you said that other people who aren't necessarily in the communications track can join and do some of the communications stuff through like WUSM and those sort of things. But as for those who are now interested in joining the communications major, is there any requirements for admission?
Not really. You have to be a student in good standing, obviously. We have quite a few students from all across campus jump into one of our majors every year. A lot of it is mostly what are you interested in and where's your heart, where's your passion. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for students who really see themselves going into these fields and want to hone their skills and take part. So that's what we are really interested in looking for. Sometimes folks, well, I'm not going to go there. I was going to go somewhere, and I thought, that's not helpful. So.
So I know that you said that the growth of the communications track is growing exponentially. So what are some of the more popular majors that the College Hall or communications track offers?
Well, I'll tell you, our two largest majors now, which is really interesting, and it's changed in the last 3 or 4 years, are sound and video. So quite a few students in sound, quite a few students in video. Digital journalism is back to growing. It kind of leveled off there and dipped for a few years, and now it's kind of on its way back up. And that's a reflection of where the industry is.
The age of media.
Yeah, no question. So I am a little surprised that we haven't had more interest in our strategic communication major. That is really where the money's at. That's really where the wide opportunity is. I think our students need to find it. It's a relatively new major. This was a redo, basically, or a tweaking of our traditional public relations and advertising majors. And the idea is to incorporate what's really going on out there, social media, the digital world, the analytics, and all those kinds of things that students need that are not necessarily traditional public relations. So that's the idea behind StratComm. We do think we've seen a lot of universities around the country go in that StratComm direction, and for good reasons, because that's where the industry is.
I remember you doing a rundown of it when I took your Communications 101 class. You kind of explained just a little bit about it. Definitely some interesting stuff. Definitely recommend. So what types of jobs are available through the communications track? Like, what are they available like after graduation?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty much anything that you can think of that involves talking, writing, performing, visuals are out there. So a lot of our students go into digital producing at television stations. A lot of our folks go into production shops doing sound and video work. A lot of our students go into social media. We've seen that a lot now as social media managers for a variety of different businesses, ranging from dental offices to hospitals to lawyers' office, real estate folks. I mean, so if you're in business, you're also in the media business, and they need that expertise that our students can provide. So we're seeing it all across the board.
So a big question that a lot of people have, but for those internships and for those jobs, would they have to relocate, or are there some available locally?
Well, if you're interested primarily in digital journalism, which would be the broadcasting and website work, you have to plan on leaving Hattiesburg. You don't have to leave Mississippi, because I will tell you, we have more demand in Mississippi than we have students currently. But there are 2 television stations, well, 2.5 television stations in Hattiesburg. They do hire 2 to 3, maybe 6, up to 6 every year, but I would not count on staying in Hattiesburg. But as far as staying in Mississippi, that has become in the last 5 or 6 years a real option, and for most of our majors. So as the media industries grow, as the StratComm areas expand to more and more industries, Mississippi is yes, it's behind some of the rest of the nation in some of those things, but it's very possible to stay in Mississippi. I do encourage all of our students to be open to relocating. It is you are, no matter what field you're in, you are limiting your options if you say, I must go back to my hometown or I must stay in Hattiesburg. You're just limiting your options.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Simpson, for joining us here today and giving us a rundown of just the communications building in the digital media world. So thank you so much.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Of course. So coming up next, we have a news wrap.
Hello everyone, my name is Kennedy Drake and I'm here with the Community Calendar. It is a new month, which means new and exciting things are happening to keep the community entertained across Hattiesburg. The fun starts this weekend at Bidden Auditorium. All South Honor Band is hosting a concert February 4th at 1 p.m. The concert contains several bands made up of talented student musicians across the Southeast. come down to this event for a chance to hear the beautiful art of music. Please join us for Kat Black's True Tea event, where she will have an honest discussion on inclusiveness and social justice at the University Forum. The event begins February 6th at 6:30 p.m. in Bennett Auditorium. The Forum events are free and open to the public. Trust me, you don't want to miss what she has to say. The Mardi Gras Parade is for students looking for something fun to do between breaks in classes. The 13th Annual Mardi Gras Parade will be held February 10th from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. The parade will be on Hardy Street, specifically Route 4th Street and 49 South, to Hardy West to 39th, where Wells Fargo is located. This is a free event open to anyone wanting to experience a night filled with music, parades, floats, excitement, and all things New Orleans style. Come dressed in your best purple, green, and gold outfits. Are you wondering what to do the weekend leading up to Valentine's Day? If so, the Pottery Night is the perfect thing for you. If you want to learn more about hand building, grab a best friend, a date, or your mom and come ready to bring your creative mind to the test. The event is February 10th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Each person can make 2 pieces of pottery, and to register, please visit the website on screen. Here on Southern Miss TV, community matters. If you have an event you would like for us to promote, send it to sm2news@usm.edu with your event details. Be sure to check out Southern Miss Today, Monday through Thursday at noon on WUSM 88.5, and also please check out our student media, Student Prints. I'm signing out. I'm Kennedy Drake, and this has been your community calendar. Stay blessed.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Southern Miss Today here on Southern Miss Radio. A big thank you to the wonderful crew who keeps this program running. Our engineer, Darius McCrimmon, Alina Pitletsky, our live stream producer, Annalie Johnson, our producer, Oaria Ade, the executive producer, the program director, Shania Williams, our GM, Dr. Wilbur Martin, and me, your host, Emily Bloom. That wraps it up for today. Remember, soar high to the sky, fly, eagle, fly.